Hello, everybody. So, we had some starting difficulties, but we I believe are patched and ready to go tonight. So, for everyone joining us tonight, welcome. Tonight we have our Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the creator and GM of the campaign, Puck Finn. For everyone joining us tonight, welcome. So we have a brief and possibly a change to our lineup tonight that we'll see how it goes. Happy St. Patrick's Day off the bat. Gully is away for the week and he will not be joining us for the campaign tonight. And Stefan is off at the moment. I celebrated a little bit early so we could do this broadcast. Stefan is currently celebrating with his family and may be joining us tonight. We will see how it goes. But so we are currently without Stefan, Lido, and Gully, and we do have Deacon. So we have done some preparation for tonight and how it's going to go to make this transition as smoothly as possible. So, excuse me. One of the questions that I often get before I go through my whole introductory thing, one of the questions that I get when people learn that I know how to GM D&D, they ask, how many people do you need for a party? And my general answer is any number is good. It can be as few as one person. My personal comfort level is 4 because I can play people off of each other, in a way that 4 people is kind of like prime for me. 6 is my personal tap out, but I know that some people can run it with as many as 8 or more. But my personal feeling on the matter is that just slows things down too much. So tonight we are going to have a good example of how to run a D&D campaign with one character. So as we head down that way, we are going to go through introductions. First thing that I would like to talk about is our Discord. And our Discord... Excuse me. Our Discord is the place where everything happens outside of the campaign. It is the best way that we can communicate with everyone and keep up to date. We also have a Facebook group and a YouTube channel, and I'll get to that in a moment. But if there are any changes to schedule, any contests we're running, anything like that, it can all be found on our Discord. We also have a Facebook group, and all of the things that I'm currently telling you about can be found on our link tree. Our link tree I've just posted in chat. Our link tree is where we post all of our links. If you are watching on Twitch, the link to our link tree can be found on our profile page as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, I believe it is on our YouTube channel. So we have our Facebook group. Our Facebook group creates event reminders and other posts such as letting you know when our videos get uploaded to YouTube. Our episode 53, which was the previous episode, just got uploaded today. I do apologize for the delay, but we generally get it uploaded a little bit quicker than the day of the next session. But things have been a little crazy, and I appreciate your patience on the matter. So, and on top of that, we have our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is where all of our campaign sessions get uploaded. Navigating our YouTube channel, we try to make it as easy as possible by creating playlists. So in addition to the main uploads, you will see playlists for our one-shots as well as playlists for our temple episodes. The Fire Temple was 2 episodes. I believe I don't even remember. I think our Water Temple was 5 episodes. I think it was a number of them. And then we just wrapped up part 4 of the Forest Temple 2 weeks ago. So If you just wanted to see the one-shots, or if you just wanted to kind of brush up on the temple episodes, those have their own playlists. And they will continue to, more playlists will be continued to be added, and more things such as one-shots will be continued to be expanded upon as this campaign continues. So, that being said, I would like to introduce our party for the evening. Yep. So, Deacon, how you doing?
Hi, it's me. I'm your party for the evening.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
So, we have talked about a couple things prior to the broadcast. We have kind of set things that we are going to focus on that will kind of more or less, I mean, nothing specific, but more kind of changing the pace of our typical episode, where we are going to switch to a format that is a little bit more one-on-one, person-to-person, putting less focus on the party for the episode and more focus on the surrounding area, and maybe possibly expanding on things with NPCs and things like that. One of the things that is almost like a running gag in the tabletop community is how a party can get hung up on a simple task, whether the task is a puzzle or opening a door or conversing with an NPC. So one of the positive aspects to running the smaller the party is the quicker that these things can be gone through. And this is what we will do our best to capitalize on tonight. So, yes. Before we get delving into tonight, I do want to take a moment to talk about last week during our chat session, because we tried something a little bit different. Sorry if I'm over here like pouring a soda. Rather than doing our typical chat session last week, so I wanted to talk about things that we had talked about, but it's hard for me to multitask in a way that we didn't really talk about the previous episode too much, which is kind of like one of the big things that we often talk about. But instead what we did was we played Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall came out around like 95, 96. And it is an amazing and expansive RPG. And we did our first episode with it. We created the character. I introduced you to the world. We took a look at how insanely big this map is. We have started on the main quest. So the main quest was part of a vote that was on our Discord channel, where I'd asked, do we want to follow the main quest, which I have admittedly never done before, or do we want to just kind of mess around and do whatever? And the voting came to a tie. So the end conclusion was that we would attempt to run the main quest until A, either we get bored of it, or B, we get time locked out of it, because along the main quest line in Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, there are a number of points where you can get time locked out of it. So right now we're running the main quest. We are attempting to level up. We are getting associated with guilds and temples. We joined the Fighters Guild. We joined the Temple of Mara, because in terms of Skyrim deities, Mara did seem like the one that was most like Hylia. She's considered to be a mother goddess. So we went with that. And now what we are doing is we are attempting to level up and gain reputation in these organizations so that we can take advantage of things that they offer, such as the Temple of Merit can do, like Daedric summoning and make your own potions, buy your own potions. These are things that are locked behind a wall of reputation. And the Fighters Guild, I believe, can make weapons, but we also need to find a place that can make magical items. So that is something that's kind of like on the list of things to do. because we are also going to try to make magical items that are from or as close to Legend of Zelda as possible. So, for example, taking a ruby and trying to have an effect of Din's Fire, which would be a spherical fire attack in Daggerfall. So, if this is something that has interested you, it's something we're probably going to try for a few episodes of our chat session. We'll run it for a bit. We've done the introductory things. We've built the characters. We've started to establish reputation. We're working on the main quest. And like I said, we'll run it for a few episodes. We'll see how it goes. If this is an entertaining thing to do in the off week that we don't have our campaign sessions, we definitely will happily run it, because it's a game that I enjoy. I don't have to run it online, but I definitely will run it online. And we will also be kind of like making fair and equitable comparisons to things, such as the coloring of the armor. So for example, Orcish is green, Daedric is red. I forget what I think Adamantium is blue. There's a blue armor set. So we're going to try to like keep it along the lines of keeping it as Legend of Zelda as possible, but we are considering these episodes to be Legend of Zelda isekais. So it is Link in the world of Daggerfall. We run it on the weeks opposite to our campaign sessions. So if it's something that you're interested in, definitely check it out. Feedback is welcomed and appreciated. Yeah. So that being said, again,
excited for the Puck Finn variety streamer arc.
For real. And like from there, maybe we'll move into like like a floaty pool broadcast. What other broadcast? We'll get like a spinny wheel thing. We'll do all those things. I mean, listen, I don't like to brag, but I think that my tits are bigger than Amaranth's. So let's get that hot tub broadcast going.
Let's do it.
All right. So brief recap of last session. We have we did the battle with Kiwiko. We defeated Kiwiko. We knocked her out unconscious, took her body through the passageway to the Yiga tunnels, which essentially stripped Kiwiko out of the body of Saria. So Saria is she's there. And upon returning to the temple from the Yiga tunnels, there was evidence of something trying to make a hasty escape, and we hadn't seen what it was, but that was the cliffhanger that we left episode 53 on. So the way we're going to narrate it is we're going to say that Deacon makes it back through the barrier out of the Yiga tunnels, but the rest of the party is having difficulty. And they call out to him as he sees his friends down the hole, and he sees this evidence of an attempted escape, and he's very torn. He doesn't know, should he help his friends or should he go after Kiwiko? And they tell him, they're like, just go. Get Kiwiko. Don't let her escape. She's done too many bad things. And so with a conflicted heart, Deacon decides to leave his party members behind in search of Kiwiko. So you see a busted window with no glass shattered on the inside, meaning that it was a forceful motion that shattered the glass to the outside. So something was making its way out, and we will pick up on that. So what would you like to do?
Oh man. Well. So, yeah. I would like to kind of first see if I can kind of figure out which direction it went. Like, did it come out like the north window, the south window? Like, what direction was immediately outside the broken window?
All right, so let me bring up. Oh, bad. I didn't bring up my GM window. Okay, I am bringing up my GM window. It'll take just a brief moment. So the let's say that let's say it's the south window.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Huh. Okay. So, yeah, I guess south end of the room. Yeah. Time to rush it. Honestly.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, do you need me to move on like the map or something,
Um.
or are we doing this kind of theater of the mind?
You know what? Like, honestly, we'll do it largely theater of the mind, but I will kind of like move you so we're not sitting. We'll take it kind of room by room. All right.
Perfect.
So you come back into this room where the last thing that the thing that you saw of any significance was the deceased Yiga corpses, and the room is vacant.
Huh. Okay. Even for the courses?
Well, nothing new has changed in the room.
Oh, just
Like there is,
okay. Fair.
yeah, there is no Kiwako in the room.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Let's see. I guess I'll make the assumption she is probably trying to book a hasty escape rather than go back to where she was before, so I'll go to the left, I guess, the northwest.
Okay.
And just kind of sprint to see if I can catch up.
All right. So as you come to the corner, or as you make your way into the northwest corridor, you make it just in time to see a shadowy figure turn the corner to the left.
Okay. All right. So, I was using my bow and arrow in the last combat, right?
I believe so.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruru's bow.
So,
Yes.
in addition, yes, perfect. Thank you. So, one of my features, as a swords bard, is that when I take the attack action, my speed actually increases by.
By what?
I was gonna say if I guess I would need a turn for this to prepare. Give me 1 second. I need to read the description on this. Because
Okay.
if I'm trying to figure out if my swift quiver counts as an attack roll. Okay. Okay, sorry, I just gotta read something. Because I'm trying to figure out if it needs to be like the attack action or if it can just be an attack, which is a very important ruling. Because it changes what my overall speed is.
Well, okay. So the mechanism that is in play here is specifically do you remember the way to get out of here?
Oh shit. Okay.
So
Vaguely, yes.
you
Okay.
will
But yeah,
be,
I guess we'll do it one piece at a time.
yes.
Okay.
So essentially, like, I'm not gonna be like a stickler for movement or things, but
Okay.
what I need you to do is make the correct assessment to backtrack the way you came, and if you
Understood.
cannot, um, we'll play it by
She'll get
ear
away.
at that point. Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
say definitively that will happen, but she is
Okay.
specifically the figure that you're following is taking the exact path out that you made to get here. Now you came here a few times.
Okay.
This path has been traversed more
True,
than
true.
once.
That's true. We should remember this. Okay.
Yes, so
Cool. This is
I'll
fun.
bump
All
it up
right.
to. Oh, let me see. So I'll bump you up to the corner, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously too close, nothing in the corner. So starting to round the corner. Ooh, starting to round the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Another tight corridor. You come up. Okay.
Mm.
So going straight
Mm.
until you have to make a decision, you come to here. The room is familiar.
Yeah. Huh. Mm. Mm. Mm.
What was your path?
So we came from the southeast, I think.
All right, so you want to go southeast?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So into the southeast tight corridor, following the corridor.
Keep going.
Keep going. All right. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It looks.
I don't see any hidden paths or anything that I can take. So.
All right. Continuing. You see. Yeah, I'm gonna put. Oh, okay. Yeah, that pretty much gives a definitive way of where you need to be going.
That does.
So
Okay.
finally, you're like, initially you get excited. You're like, aha, a familiar mark, and then you remember what this familiar mark is. You come into the room,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that, yeah, you find that there's a
Damn.
yes. So sorry, my mouse kind of jammed up for a sec. Okay, so I would say that from this point you remember that the north is not the way to go, that it does lead to a dead end, which would take you on the eastern corridor, through a tight corridor, into a room with one exit. So you follow that into the room with one more exit. All right, now you have a choice. You can see 3 separate paths.
I don't know if that's the right one, but I'm going to choose this one here.
All right. So going with gut instinct.
Like the middle one.
You make your way, and you have a sigh of relief as you see the bush. And you're like, I know this bush. And you feel that you are coming to the exit, and you can see this shadow figure kind of just barely ahead of you, turning the corner at your every turn. Do you continue to give pursuit?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So you continue to give pursuit, coming to the original room, and you notice that the exit has been sealed. However,
oh shit!
Hold on, let me get rid of that moblin, because he is no longer there. That was one of the moblins that were summoned by Kiwiko. So you come into this room and you find Kiwiko.
I was half.
Uh-huh.
I was just saying, I was half expecting you to say that I should let me straight into an ambush with like 3 of those things.
No, remembering the water temple, once Princess Ruta was defeated, all of her Zora that had been summoned
Ah.
were unsummoned.
Mm-hmm.
So you come into the room
Oh,
with
good point.
Kiwako, and
Mm-hmm.
she's kind of like very fervently kind of like feeling around, remembering that there was a door there, but there is no longer a door there, and she is muttering under her breath. And let me see. What languages do you speak?
Unfortunately, just common Deku and Zoran.
Okay, so she is speaking a language which you do not understand. But you can sense the frustration in her voice and knowing what she's looking for as she is feeling around for a door that is not there. She does not seem to notice you. What do you do?
About how many feet away is she?
Let me. Let me throw her. Where's the icon? I'll throw her there, but I will make her regular size. And okay, so there she is.
Okay. So.
Actually, you know what? Give me a stealth check.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. For what it's worth, I have the boots of Korra kind on, so my footsteps are silent.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
So basically, what I'm fishing
change
for is
anything?
I'm fishing for a non-nat one, which would cause you to like bump into the wall or thud on the ground as you like fall prone,
Okay.
like tripping over something.
Gotcha. Okay. 17.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Not hitting that nat one. So okay, she does. Just to reaffirm, she does not notice your presence.
Cool. Okay. So, okay, could you remind me, like, she had a whole story to her, wasn't she, like, she got lost in the Lost Woods and, like, succumbed to hunger, right? Became this, like, Wendigo monster.
Yes. So she got she according to story thus far, things that we have been told about her, was her origin story is that she ended up in the Lost Woods and essentially became a type of skull kid, but ended up consuming the flesh of other lost people in the Lost Woods till that eventually consumed her, turning her into a Wendigo, a Skidwalker, something along those lines.
Gotcha. Huh. So in fighting her, did it seem like she was undead?
It did not.
Okay.
And I will also say, like, from your initial battle with her, her size has actually has notably diminished. Her skin does look a lot more gaunt, and in fact, her appearance appears even slightly emaciated. Give me a quick medicine check.
Okay.
Yes,
Dirty 20.
there is a hunger that appears to be present in her that is causing her to self-consume.
Oof.
So you're starting to notice kind of like withering patches of muscles. Her neck is really starting to thin out. Her calf muscles look like they are starting to like detach from her legs in places. And you are able to discern from that she is not specifically trying to escape from you. She is not running from you. She is running because she no longer has a host to sustain her, and without that, she is under a constant situation of self-consumption.
Huh. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Sorry. So I have a second to think, right? Okay. So I'm this is gonna be really fucking interesting. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I have an idea, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use one of my 2 sorcery points to subtle spell, which means that it requires no verbal components of any kind,
Mm-hmm.
or somatic at that. So logistically, she can't hear me do this from behind her, right?
Right.
And in this doorway here, this like archway,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a portal.
Ooh.
And that portal is Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the people that can enter it are, of course, me, my party, and Kiwiko.
Okay.
And now, so it hasn't been an hour since our fight, right?
No, it has been
okay.
Minutes, like less than 15 minutes.
Cool, because I still have a spell active, and we'll get to that at one.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, do I have? I am. Okay, sorry. So I'm also gonna do something interesting, potentially. Which is that if you don't mind me taking the time to do this, I'm gonna briefly step into the portal and just change into my Gerudo armor.
Okay. So.
Okay, is that okay?
It is, but I am going to take a moment to use this as an education because this is not something that we do often.
Yes.
And
I know it takes a little time to do this, but because I have all these servants, like the unseen servants, like a staff of 100, I should be able to do this relatively fast, I think.
I will half the amount of time with considering with advantage, but
thank you. So it's 1 minute to take it off. It's medium armor. So it's 1 minute to take off my current medium armor, which would be reduced to 30 seconds. And then it's 5 minutes to put on a new set of medium armor, which would be my Gerudo armor. So it takes exactly 3 minutes. And I'll have the portal closed once I step in there. So
Gerudo armor is only half medium armor?
Yep.
Oh.
It's hide armor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
You were thinking Goron armor, weren't you?
I was thinking that I would have probably made like There's probably other hemp armor, other heavy armors. You know what? That's what, because I tried to like divide it, so it was like, and now,
Gotcha.
I'm like thinking it on my head. I'm like the Gerudo and the, I'm sorry, the Goron and the Hylian armor is heavy armor.
Hylian armor is medium armor too.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
man.
there is no heavy armor straight up. Oh wait, the Goron armor is like chainmail or something. Well, that's it.
Oh.
No, the Goron armor is a chain shirt, which is medium armor. There is no heavy armor. Trust me, if there was heavy armor, I'd probably be using it by now.
Oh, man. Oh, going back old school on this. Okay, so 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and the portal's closed. So, yeah, I might regret this, but it's the only thing I can think to do. So I go back in. She gone?
Give me a. You know what? I'm going to consider this an animal handling check. Animal
Okay,
handling
that's
to
interesting.
track what has happened.
Okay.
So you kind of like you currently do not see her in the position that she was in, but
Okay.
depending on the animal handling check, you're going to kind of assess the area to look for evidence of what happened.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Enhanced Ability Wisdom on myself to myself advantage because I really cannot afford to fail this check.
All right.
15.
15. All right. So, you have seen kind of like along the ground the area kind of north and south of where she was. You see that there is a good bit of kind of like dirt displaced, so that that she has kind of continuously been looking for this door. But you do not see her or any kind of like area that there is evidence of an escape beyond that. Like you don't see a trail going back out of the room. You don't see like the door has not reappeared.
Huh. I look up.
You look up and sure as anything, she is let me go quick check before I look at anything. Yeah.
She's just like ceiling cat, just like staring at me.
She is 100% ceiling cat.
Literally like breathing down my neck.
Yeah. She is let me fix her position. She has moved to the corner.
Position.
So,
like, there's a certain element of this that's just like,
yes, she is hard staring at you, and again, she is saying things, but you do not understand what she is saying.
Sorry,
but no, you're good. But there is, yeah, there's something trying to be said. What would you like to do?
I'd like to tell her I can't understand her.
She says it with even more frustration, but even slowing down her words. But you
telepathic link as a bonus action. Oh, sorry.
Okay, but yeah, like you start to get the grasp that she's like trying to tell you something, but she does not. Well, okay, you can do that anyway. But so the way I'm going to word it is, she does not have the ability to understand. She does not have the ability to speak common.
Huh. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I try to like understand her with the telepathy.
All right. So you establish a telepathic link, and I will say that even comes with certain empathetic elements, and so it's, you know what, I would say that this, within the realm of this telepathic link, you find yourself in a dark room. And at first you see the eyes, and the eyes begin to illuminate the antlers, and then you see in front of it is this small Kakariko child. Kokiri child, I apologize. And there is, from her lower lip down her chin, just blood. Like flowing, running blood. And
is it her blood? Sorry.
You can hear the voice of Kiwiko say to you, "I believe you can understand me now." And I mean, I can't tell you from this position if it's her blood.
Okay,
but I have an answer.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to oh hey, looks like we have stuffing. So I'm going to open the portal, and as I talk to her, I'm going to say, "Yes, I can understand you, and I need to make you understand me. Will you enter this place with me?"
It's a trap?
It is not. It is a safe place. It is an olive branch.
I need to feed.
Does food do anything for you? Like, meat, stuff like that?
Meat is
or
good.
Is it? Okay. We have some food for you in here. I think it can give you a couple of minutes of at least respite from what you're going through.
So with...
Hi, Stephen.
Is he in chat yet? Is he in voice?
He just...
Oh, okay, he just popped in.
Hello.
Okay. Welcome, Stefan. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, man.
Hope you had a good morning to you.
Hell yeah.
For the morning to you.
Okay. So to implant you into the situation and to also kind of catch you up, Deacon has been following, and now by extension you have been following Kiwiko as Kiwiko has tried to escape the forest temple. When Kiwiko got to the entrance to the forest temple, the door was sealed and shut and not there anymore. So we are at a point now where Deacon has established a telepathic link with Kiwiko and is trying to coax her into Lehman's tiny hut.
Maximilian's magnificent mansion.
Okay, thank you, Maximilian. Maximilian's magnificent mansion.
I think that's a good call.
What's that?
You want to be in a big place, not a small place.
Definitely.
Yes. So upon establishing a telepathic link with Kiwiko, what Deacon has seen, and as I explained this, like this is something that you were kind of like seeing in your brain. Your physical presence is still, within the temple, but you find yourself in a dark room with Kiwiko, and Kiwiko, as you know her, is there, but in front of her is a small Kokiri child with blood that is flowing from the lower part of her mouth down her chin. It is actively flowing, and that is all we have established at this point. So, so I will say that stuff, and that you are here. You are part of this whole thing. You have witnessed this whole thing. You have been traveling with Deacon as you have been coming through, making your way through the temple, and you have cornered Kiwiko, and you are now trying to coax her into this magnificent mansion.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Deacon, that is a magnificent mansion. I really want to go into it.
Hell
It
yeah.
looks so comfortable and spacious. Do you have a hot tub in there?
Why, yes, I do.
I mean, hot tubs are wonderful. Fairies love tubs of water, but I've experienced regular people like it, and plant people like it too, because they can like get their roots all in there. It's
pretty
called
great for plant people. Pretty nice.
what is it called? Hydro something.
Hydroponics. I learned that word from Lito.
Hydroponics.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh.
I think we should all go into your most magnificent mansion.
I agree, Stuffin. I agree. Let's all head in there.
So that it's settled. Kiwiko, I noticed that you have lots of blood flowing around your mouth. Maybe you'd want to clean that off in a nice hot tub.
The child takes.
You still have tongues active, right? From last session, I believe you had tongues active, right? That was you.
I don't know if it was me. I don't think it was me.
Ah, sorry. Okay, never mind then. Because we did establish, unfortunately, she can't speak common.
Oh,
like I don't know if she necessarily understands it, but she like can't speak it.
The way that she's reacting to her dialogue leads you to the assumption, but not definite belief, that she understands but does not speak common.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So as you are as you address the small child, you notice that she takes a brief, like, quarter step, which is as much as she can take, back against the body of Kiwiko. She appears to be frightened. And not of Kiwiko.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I have an idea. Okay.
Is it balloons? Kids like balloons.
I think the noise might startle a little more, sadly, but I like the way you think. I know what this kid needs. Cinnamon tasting bread.
Discipline.
Deacon, we're doing a great job of trying to convince this little girl to come into this big old mysterious mansion with us by luring her with like promises of fun times.
Okay, this is not safe for Twitch anymore. You ruined it. Right.
Maybe we should try a different tact.
Okay. Yeah. So honestly, I'm going to just say that it's like relatively neutral ground there. And like, it's how do I put this? I think there's something there for you that might give you a few minutes of respite. That's all. I think it's just Deacon's going to just kind of like he's gonna raise his hand out and he's gonna so if I know like if he's learned anything, right? He's gonna reach out, he's gonna offer, if you'll allow me to do this, right?
Mhm.
He's gonna offer like the child like a cookie. And like, you know, sorry, I'm having like eyesight trouble with the St. Patrick's Day. So I need a second to make sure that I have one of these still.
Are you giving her one of our special cookies?
No, I have like fruit pies and stuff. Or at least I used to. Damn, I have bananas that are probably old by now. Fuck.
Bread.
Yeah, I think the bread's the call. I think it's. I don't know if you. I don't know if you remember. I just remember that's what Deacon usually does. Is just like cinnamon buns. Like
that is a
when it comes
throwback,
down
but
to
yeah.
it. Yes. Don't. I'm glad you remember that. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. So. Yeah. He just kind of like gently offers it to her, and he says, I just want to talk. I really don't want to hurt you. Don't want to hurt anyone. I know. I know that you're just someone who's trying to live the only way that you can. Sometimes living is scary. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do because it's the only thing that you know how to do at the time. But I think there are ways we can both come out of this and be a little bit okay. But I need to talk to you first to get to that point.
Hey, Deacon, Kiwako. Maybe instead of going into that beautiful, but maybe just a little bit big, scary house, can we just sit down and have a picnic? Like, I think those buns look great. I got a couple sandwiches in my pocket.
That's true. I
And
forgot
we
you
just
have infinite
sit.
food. You're perfect for this, actually.
We just sit and we have a talk. Kiwako? I feel like, I don't know, there's got to be a blanket someplace. Maybe he's just got a blanket in his pocket. He pulls out a blanket.
I have a bedroll and some cloaks and stuff.
Yeah. Let's have a picnic.
Yeah.
Would you like to sit, Kiwako? Oh, and he's going to gesture for her to, like, maybe sit down. We put some food down.
So,
like,
And if she doesn't, I'll cast chain like.
all right. So
I'm joking about that.
The girl takes Kiwako by the hand and leads it over to the spreading of the blankets, but kind of still like as like within its perimeter, but still kind of like as far enough away as she can be from all of you, and she starts to cautiously sit, but Kiwako is still standing behind her.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay, so give me 1 sec. I have to check rations. I'm gonna pull out some just like dried meat strips, like the kind that he usually feeds to Chimkin because she is a growing girl and needs protein to be a strong warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just offer her like, you know, a handful of like, you know, Slim Jims, basically, like little, you know, the mini ones.
All right. So She
I want to say you're welcome too.
she accepts them cautiously. And at this point, you still kind of notice, the steady but slow flow of blood down her chin as she looks, as the look in her eyes change, as she now looks like she wants to tell you something.
Okay.
And
Oh, sorry.
she kind of like, she puts the meat rations down on her side, and she beckons you a little bit closer.
Uh-huh.
And she opens up her mouth.
This isn't going anywhere good for me, but I will fall for it.
And just it like blood pours out of this girl's mouth.
Are you saying you're injured?
Within roughly 3 to 5 seconds time, the blood has vacated from the child's mouth, and you can see she is missing her tongue.
Oh my god.
Stuffin opens his mouth, kind of copying her, and then lets out just like a big burp. Like, and then he just starts laughing.
She has this sadness to her eyes, but then you putting these things together, you start to realize Kiwiko cannot speak, but she understands common. And this child has no tongue. And it is very clearly an inflicted wound.
So telepathically, I guess I'll just ask who did this to her. Is this our fault?
Do you ask her if it's your fault?
Yeah.
She shakes her head no. And she points to herself.
Didn't want to do it anymore, I see.
And she makes a biting motion.
Deku nods. I've seen that one before. Sorry. It was to try and stop the urges, I take it?
What's that?
I said it was to try and stop the urges, I take it.
She nods yes.
Okay. Deku nods fully. Sorry. He looks very thoughtful. He kind of stopped for a moment. He's gonna ask, has it helped you?
She shakes her head no.
Do you want it back?
She shrugs her shoulders.
Fair enough.
Hey, Deacon.
Sorry.
I think I missed something. Why did she do this? What did she want to?
So essentially, what happened is the thing that we know as Kiwiko is basically the little girl we're dealing with is essentially the original little girl that got lost in the Lost Woods. And she eventually succumbed to cannibalism at some point when she was the Skull Kid who was lost in the Lost Woods without a fairy or anything. And that's essentially what birthed this Kiwiko as a creature, which has kind of been her guardian and protector, but also her curse, as she's now a Wendigo creature that has a craving for human flesh. We're Deacon is currently trying to figure out if the craving can be sated by things other than, humanoid flesh.
Okay.
Part of the logistics in the interaction were like, it's not like she gets anything from me. I'm made of wood, so. But she seems to be like relatively civil, as we haven't approached her with any hostility. So,
At this point, anything edible that you have given to her, she has passed on to Kiwiko, and Kiwiko has consumed.
okay. Can I ask her if that helps her any?
She nods, but in a way to say that it does, but it's, it is the best solution to a bad situation.
Understood. I know there's not really a good solution to this.
Yes. Kiwiko is her source of consumption. Kiwiko is the source that sustains her.
Can I do like an Arcana check on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. I got a 16.
16? All right. What about it would you like to know?
I would like to know something about this affliction and whether there's like anything that can be done to help it.
Okay. So in large part, Deacon has definitely told you the most important bullet points. So upon someone willfully taking on an act of cannibalism, they come to a point where they open themselves up to be inhabited by a spirit such as Kiwiko. And this creates a symbiotic relationship where the host typically does still have the ability to consume. I would even say the absence of a tongue at this point is a bit atypical for things finding themselves in this position. But once this symbiotic relationship occurs, the spirit in this place, in this situation, Kiwiko, would be the main sustaining source for this person, because the person. Yeah, I think that's all I can tell you on a 16. There is more.
Can I give him an inspiration?
Yes.
If you're okay with it, using it on this, I could give you a D12.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, give me additional D12 to see what else I can tell you. What do we get on that D12? Stefan?
I was waiting for Deacon to roll. I'm sorry.
Oh, either
no,
way.
sorry. It's an inspiration to you, so I figured I'd let you roll it if you want. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm rolling right now. I got an 11.
All right, bringing it up to a 27. All right. Okay, so there comes a time, so I've referred to it as a symbiotic relationship up until this point, but in addition to that, they are completely bound to one another. They essentially become one and the same being, and the hunger gets to a point where almost like the more they feed, the more they need to feed. And this hunger kind of operates on a point where when you reach a point of when a creature such as this reaches a point of elevated feeding, that metabolism needs to sustain itself. So it doesn't just feed on sustenance, but it also has the ability to feed on magical energies. And it just by circumstance has been to the point, or they have found themselves in a situation where they were able to find a sage, and a sage would have enough power to sustain them indefinitely. But unfortunately, as they continue to feed on a indefinite basis, that metabolism also continues to increase at an alarming rate, and now we are seeing the withering of Kiwiko because Kiwiko no longer has that sustenance to sustain it.
Huh. Okay. Huh.
So it feels like we need to separate Kiwiko from the little girl. But that could also be dangerous, right?
That's what it sounds like. Hmm.
It could be most likely fatal for both parties. The little girl needs Kiwiko to sustain her, and Kiwiko needs sustenance to sustain itself.
Huh.
But is Kiwiko? But Kiwiko can have a lot of sustenance. It doesn't just have to be like cannibalism or draining
Right.
people's
Yeah,
energy.
actually-
Like that.
Cannibalism is how it started. Then over time, it evolved into other forms of consumption. That's how it was able to feed on Saria's energy and not Saria's physical being.
Just saying. Can they feed on like?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go
You
for
go
it.
first, Stefan. No, you first.
No,
Definitely.
no.
Sorry.
No, I'm just
well,
trying to think of what we could feed on other than like I don't know, life force or
definitely.
physical flesh or something.
So I'm thinking of my so I'm gonna level with you. I'm actually gonna say this in character. I gesture to the portal and I say, I know it is a band-aid on a bigger wound. There is a lot of food in there. That's why I wanted you to join me.
I feel like trust has begun to be built in this situation, and she is the little girl is slightly less frightened, but Kiwiko is desperate for consumption at this point.
Okay. So if they'll enter, what we're gonna have is I want them to experience something like properly dignified. Okay. So since I can kind of change this, basically I'm gonna think it's like a little ballroom, right? Once again, 100 tiny little like slightly spectral like no face type decoons in suits. We'll be attending to anything that anyone needs while we're in there, and it's gonna look like a banquet hall. And specifically, so the reason that I am, I say I think this should give you some respite as we kind of enter, and it's like well lit. It's got the crystal chandelier thing going on. Like, it's a very like opulent looking place. However, it is also basically just a single gigantic room. And there's like only really like one. There's like I'm gonna say 4 spots at the table so that the kid has a place to sit, even if they are like a construct of psychic energy or whatever it is going on at this point.
Okay.
And yeah, here, give me this. Gonna do this. All right, cool. So, I see the one who kind of just showed up. Sorry. Anyway, anyway, sorry. So yeah, as she so yeah, I'm gonna have like 4 seats. And for Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion, part of the text is sorry, pulling it up. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. The place is furnished and decorated as you choose. It contains sufficient food to serve a 9-course banquet for up to 100 people.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wait, a
there's
9-course
that.
banquet from 100 people for 100 people.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
so
what the
Kiwiko
spell.
could consume a lot.
Basically, yeah. Here, let me put that in. Yeah. So there we go. So there's just kind of something for her to do in the background, I suppose, as we continue to discuss this. And hopefully, it brings her a little like, mental quiet.
I would say that immediately, like, Kiwiko just dives into the food.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah. Sorry.
So, and also, because this has never happened before, theoretically, what would happen if one of those servants got within grasping range of someone such as Kiwiko? like, if it was consumed, would it simply spawn the one that was consumed?
Probably. I honestly, I think it would just like it would probably just be gone for this duration, as things like that usually go, and then just respawn on the next one. Like, sorry about your luck, little dude.
Yeah, I would say, you know what? Roll me a D100 to see how many unfortunate assistants get consumed in this ravage feasting. Oh my! Oh jeez! Oh. 97.
I got 97.
97.
So,
there's 3 left.
So basically, Kiwiko has turned into like No Face from Spirited Away.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Spirited Away, exactly.
is consuming the massive feast at an alarming rate, and as time goes on, at a certain point in the near future, you kind of look around and realize that there's only 3 servants kind of walking around the mansion, and they're all trying very, their best to stay away from the table.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So as Kiwiko consumes, her fiber muscles begin to reattach in a healthier looking fashion than they were. Her form does not change to the point of anything drastically improving. She still has her, her horrific form, but it looks healthier. And she has even, with a feast that big, I would say that she has regained her large. Let's put her at a large size right now. Nice. Noting that upon high levels of consumption, she has the ability to increase her size depending on the consumption.
Nice.
But
Deacon,
also noting that the girl has not touched a single morsel of food.
Mm-hmm.
Deacon, I don't think this is a healthy relationship here. Feels kind of dangerous to me.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I just thought it would help kind of put a band-aid on things for now,
Yeah. I remember the story when I was young about this creature with no face that would like consume everything around it. And I'm trying to remember how they got rid of it. I think they got rid of it in a giant hot tub. Maybe we could all go into the hot tub.
The hot tub.
Ah,
Have you
yes.
heard that story? Big old
About the
hot tub
hot tub
babies.
time machine?
I think that was, or maybe that was a different. Maybe that was a different creature. I take it back. I think it was a different creature.
That's the sludge monster.
That was the river spirit.
Oh, true.
I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna get eaten here. Might as well enjoy the hot tub first.
True. All right. Yeah, literally, there's just like cut to like the back corner. There's just like a hot tub. One of the like little DQ is just like manning a tiny little bar where you can have tiny little mojitos.
It's a third of the workforce.
I think he's probably hiding in the hot tub.
Yes,
Like a little-
exactly.
Straw popping out. Where he's breathing tube.
Exactly.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what? I have nothing to say at this moment. Things continue to progress as previously stated.
So, yeah, I would like to kind of like, I'll just ask the, girl if she feels any better, or if this is just like, I don't know, like even just for now, like, is this helping at all? Is this like, I mean, obviously I know it's probably nothing compared to, sage juju, but I don't know. I just, hopefully it helps things go a little more clearly. I know how much it sucks when you are distracted by something like that.
She looks a bit lost. Like understanding that these actions have definitely held the attention of Kiwako. Kiwako is happy to have such a feast before it, but yeah, the girl just feels like she doesn't know what to do with the situation.
Could I like turn my chair to face her and just like like gently like pat her on the shoulder and just go, I just wanted to show you that we want to help.
She starts to mime something. She holds out one.
She's playing charades.
Yeah, she holds out one hand in front of her like it's flat, and with the other hand she starts, waving it in front of her open-faced palm.
Okay,
I don't get it.
Like she's holding the hand.
One word.
She's holding the hand in front of her, with the palm facing herself. Like so, let's say her left hand. Her left hand's in front of her, with her hand open, palm facing herself, and with her right hand, she's making like almost like up and down, left and right motions, like she's trying to express something. Give me both. You can give me an insight check if you'd like.
That would be cool. I hope
I think she's miming
She is miming
exorcism.
15.
15. She's asking if you have anything to write with.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I got a nat 20.
Very low DC,
Yeah.
so good for a 20. But yeah, she's basically like expressing that she can't.
Nat 20. Can I find out if she's willing?
If she's what?
Okay.
Wait. What was the question, Stefan?
Nat 20. Like, I'm wondering what kind of paper and pen she wants.
Honestly,
Nice.
anything.
Okay. So
I'll give her my spell book and a pen. Like, I'll put her on like the back of the spell book, the pages that are unused.
Okay.
nice. Hell yeah.
Okay. So she holds the spell book in her hand, and now she has a pen, and she starts to write, and hands it over. and the message reads, "I don't understand what you want."
Deacon sighs. And he says, well, one thing that I would really like is if Kiwiko would release our friend Saria, who is currently her phylactery. I was hoping to, at the bottom of all this, get to something where we could get you freedom from this place, freedom from needing to use Saria as sustenance. And in return, she could have her freedom from Kiwiko's cycle of reincarnation.
And she starts
The
scribbling
only
again.
way we're going... What?
She starts scribbling again.
I would just like to append,
Mhm.
the only way that we can make this happen is if Kiwiko consents to it. And we don't want anybody to get hurt. So I thought maybe instead of trying to fight you, we could come to an agreement and maybe we could help you get through all this. Because I know you've kind of suffered enough.
She writes and hands the book back to you and says,
It says, go fuck yourself. No, sorry.
She says, that was Romeo's doing.
What?
Romeo?
I'm sorry, not Romeo. Rufy.
Wherefore art thou Romeo?
Not Romeo.
I was about to say, dude, you just pulled a fucking 6-month conspiracy on my ass. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god, what did I...
Like, you say, like, Romeo has been the shadow demon this entire time. Like, he's, like, literally just down there in hell. Like, literally, Romeo died and became, like, the new like, he ascended to, like, Reginald tier anti-fucking... He was the guy who, like, quantum entanglement reverse reincarnation was the demon locking up our fucking trip to Dongo's cavern this entire time.
Yeah.
It's like, it was me, Dekun.
I
was your sister.
It was. I guess I have a lot of characters with R names. It reads. It was Rico who did this.
Oh, Rico. Oh, Rico. Wherefore art thou Rico? Wait, we saw him just recently.
You see, just like a completely like Dekun.exe has stopped working. And he just says, like, just in Deku, like, Nandekorewa? Which, in common is, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, Rico seemed like a good guy. Why did he get the two of you hooked up or something? I don't get it. I'm sorry.
She shakes her head with like, you know, like childlike frustration, you know, as if someone's like not understanding what the 76th Pokemon was, and and he says like, you know, like at this point, like she's writing and then she's like scribbling back and forth, looking like she's like, no, I didn't mean to say that, and she's like writing and continuing it, and you know, then she lets out like kind of figuring the most like basic way that she can like express this without adding further confusion to the matter.
I whisper, do you want me to try the telepathy thing again?
Listen,
sorry.
My suggestion is that you treat us as if we were playing a fictional game called Bosses and Offices, and as players, we just didn't really know what was going on most of the time, even if it was like totally obvious to the boss master.
Pushing the pole door.
Yeah.
I thought Rico cared about you. I thought Rico was like doing everything he could to protect you and sacrifice himself for you.
Yeah, I'm very confused. Has he been the final boss this entire time?
No. And so let's simply say that like there are a number of like back and forth like questions and writings that go on, and ultimately as she continues to explain it, she lets you know that upon Rico entering the Forest Temple, by the time that Rico had entered the Forest Temple, it was already to the point that oh jeez, I'm getting my names all screwed up now. I almost said fucking
Kiwiko?
Thank you, Kiwiko. that Kiwiko had already possessed Saria, and in an attempt to prevent any harm to the village itself, Rico had to use his heart to simultaneously like create the like goddamn, I'm having a hard time explaining. Bear with me on this.
Okay. I understand it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, a little bit. So let me take a breather.
Take your time.
All right. So what had happened was, when Rico created his heart to protect Saria's as at that point it was already the phylactery. There we go. At that point it was already the phylactery, but Rico tried to contain it in the tree. The tree was made up of his own heart that he gave. So with that, the girl blames Rico for her essentially being stuck here, whereas unintentionally, due to Rico's actions, Sari was not meant to be, from the little girl's point of view, a permanent host. But just by the course of actions, it kind of like fell that way. So, whereas the little girl is kind of beholden to Kiwiko's actions, and Rico trapped Kiwiko in the Forest Temple, with Saria being the host. There we go.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm still confused. It's like, is the girl Saria, or is the girl?
The girl is just a girl, basically. Like,
we have not given a name to the girl yet.
So the girl is like the original girl who came out, and like apparently Kiwiko is like more of a possessive spirit. Like, it's not like a traditional Wendigo sort of story. So like it's more like okay, I don't know if basically it's like she's this rather than like a direct like one-to-one transformation of the girl into a monster, it's more like she got possessed by the monster as like an outer spirit thing. And now it's like they're stuck together, they're like super glued together. And like she was trying to like feed off Saria, but what she's saying is she wanted that to be a temporary setup. Like, she wanted to eventually be able to leave the fucking dungeon, but then Rico locked her in here. Yes. And that's kind of what's making it like her fault. Is that like, does that make sense? Is that about right?
Yes.
Or making it his fault, sorry, making it Rico's fault for locking her in here.
Yes.
When otherwise she could have like fucked off, and then it wouldn't have been a Saria problem.
Yeah. So a lot of what we're seeing from this girl is taken from almost like a child's point of view. And so one of the things that is from her point of view is that she doesn't like the fact that she is in the position that she's in. She doesn't like the fact that she is now bound to Kiwiko. She doesn't, this all comes with with no small amount of guilt attached to it. But upon previous feedings that Kiwiko has had to do, the thing about that is once it's done, it's over, and that which Kiwiko has fed upon is no longer suffering. So when they came across Saria, and Saria had this abundant sage magical energy that Kiwiko could feed on, there came a point where the little girl had this increasing sense of guilt that came with it, because this wasn't like a quick one and done, it's fed, it's over. This is something that is providing an extended period of time of suffering for Saria. So, for this, she blames Rico.
So it seems like. So I'm not a psychologist, but it does seem like we need some sort of relationship counseling, or perhaps maybe like a divorce attorney or something to like mitigate a separation here. But I'm worried that it might hurt you.
Sorry, I'm only
little
a role
girl
player. I
who's
can't help.
Like, what's your name, by the way? Like, we're having this nice conversation. I'm Stuffin, by the way. My friend Deacon. What's your name?
She scribbles down. She says, and it says, I lost my name.
Oh, that's a weird name. Is that I with an I capital or EYE?
Well, as it's written, it is the letter I.
I.
So upon this, does anyone want to give me a history check that I can enlighten further?
Sure. I will fail it, but let's try.
Not a huge
Probably
DC.
decent at history.
Okay. I had a natural 20.
All right. So a few things about Skull Kids, which we learned, as the story of this has progressed, that the prior to becoming Kiwiko, the young girl that we see before us was a Skull Kid. That's when she fell upon a situation. That's what she was when she fell upon a situation that led her into the acts of cannibalism that led to the introduction of Kiwiko into herself. When a person becomes a Skull Kid, they lose all sense of their previous identity, meaning they do not know their name. Now, since we're not 20ing this situation, I will point out even further that there is a certain special something that comes from a Skull Kid learning their name again. But right now she has no recollection of her past life prior to her Skull Kid existence.
Shit. I don't know how we'd go digging for that without leaving this place.
I'm trying to see if any of my spells would help. I'm wondering, well, contact other planes? Oh, I didn't hear it though. So did I prepare?
Nice.
I was prepared. Never mind.
Hmm.
I contacted Demigod from another plane to say, "Hey, what's this girl's name?" Um,
Hmm.
maybe.
Well, actually, before we go, I mean, how old is she? Like, I'm just gonna ask how old she is.
Well, simply because of situational circumstances. The fact that we are in the Lost Woods, the fact that we are in the Forest Temple, the fact that this person is known to act as to be a Skull Kid. I have been, and since their appearance appears to be that of a young girl between the ages of 8 to 10 years old, that is why I have been referring to her as a Kokiri.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean that's fair. I meant that more as like an actual question to her. Like, how many years has she been doing this thing?
Oh, how
that
long
she's been
has
doing?
she been stuck in this form?
Yeah.
Hmm. Good question.
Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, I'm sure you got to count the hours, and the days. And I know that clock does not tick by quickly when you are feeling hungry as fuck.
Yeah, she says she communicates to you that it is as long as she could remember, but
Okay.
without knowledge of her past
Um,
life. I mean, she's
Oh.
spent a lot of time in the Lost Woods. She has spent a lot of time in this temple. She has, at least to definite knowledge, she has spent years in this temple.
Oh. Okay.
right.
So I was gonna say, like,
There's some part of me that wants to just dispel magic here, but I'm afraid that it wouldn't work, and even if it did work, it would kill her. Um, she wants a separation. We don't know a way to separate, do we? I mean, the
don't know.
Kokiri thing? Like, can we lure it someplace else? Um, hey,
Mhm.
I don't suppose we could spare this girl suffering, and Kiwiko, you could like join me instead for a little while. I got lots of magic. You know, if you're hungry, it could be good for you. Probably, I got lots of food in my pockets.
Are
Could
are
probably use magic to get more
are
food.
you asking Kyoko to abandon this child and possess you instead?
But like, will it kill her? Will it kill you? I'm offering it up as a possibility. Yes,
She sadly nods yes.
that it will kill her.
Yes. She
No.
100% needs Kiwiko to sustain her existence.
So the problem is it like she doesn't have enough life essence?
She has none.
What can we do to get you enough life essence?
So
I
I know who we
will
need to
then
find.
I'm going to once again point out her
As I
mouth to
said,
you.
Wait,
her
what were you gonna
math.
say?
Like she is not undead. She is not dead. But at one point she did die. And what
Oh, she
has
did.
yes, at one point so I will say that she expresses to you either through vision or storyboarding or whatever her last days in the Lost Forest, and she expresses to you at this point that there was a band of travelers, and her physical appearance through this vision is like borderline feral. not this, sweet, calm little girl you see before you. And you see this vision of her essentially ambushing this small lost party and consuming the lot of them, as she has completely lost all sense of who she is, who she was, and the hunger at this point has taken over her. At this point, she is not with Kiwiko. She is simply alone, scared, hungry, and bound and trapped in this forest. And after this, she has reached her limit. She has had enough. And she bites her own tongue off.
But it was too late, huh?
Hey, girlfriend.
Damn.
As she lie there,
I hope that's not condescending. I meant that as a
as she lie there,
little girl.
with blood pooling around her head and face, and everything started to go dark, that's when Kiwiko comes upon her and offers her protection and a way out of the woods.
So let me ask you, if there's anything you could have in this world, what would it be?
She writes it down and hands it to you. It just says, a name.
That's it? I was kind of hoping you'd say like eternal rest or something. That would have been easier. I mean, we can give her a name. It has to be the right name. It has to be. Can we call you Angie? Amy? Anne? Angela? Annalette?
Can I
Agatha? Abacus? You sound right? Okay. Deacon, do you know some names?
Yeah, I have an idea. Deacon's Deacon is going to nod slowly. And he's gonna say that names are one thing that can follow you anywhere. You remind me of another friend of mine. And I would like to just briefly outline the story of the alchemist in Kakariko.
Mm-hmm.
And about how he's going to detail that she went out into the Lost Woods very often, and at times it was dangerous for her, but she was doing the best that she could. And what she wanted was to help Kakariko and stuff. And he said that I was lucky to call her a friend. And in the end, she gave her life up for us. Her name was Trixie. And in her honor, and for you, I think maybe it fits that you carry it on. If you're going to be a new friend of ours, then he smiles. Says, how about Trixie?
And she kind of...
You could call you Trixie Jr. if you want.
And upon the junior, her face kind of like scrunches.
Nice.
Um,
But yeah.
So
Deacon smile.
She,
See,
she,
I
she,
like
Trixie
Trixie.
then?
she,
What do
she,
you think?
she points to herself, like very questioning. Most to like as if to say, reassure that she is now Trixie.
Deacon nods, and he it's nice to meet you, Trixie.
Hey, Trixie. Do you want a nickname that you can pronounce? 'Cause we could just nickname you
Oh, no, but she turns to stuff and like points to herself like more intently as to and as she's like pointing to herself in between slurping and biting gulps and
Oh God.
grabbing servants, you hear Kiwiko just mutter the two phrases, me, Trixie.
Sounds good, right?
That didn't sound creepy at all.
Deacon Snickers. So I think I have an idea for how to fix this. But I don't like it.
What's your idea? Because most of my ideas involve someone
So
dying.
her problem is life essence, right?
Yeah. That's one
There's
of
a
them.
particular magic user that specializes in life essence that Deacon has come across before. It's the witch. We gotta see the
Which
witch.
witch?
The witch. The
Ooh.
Faka
Only
witch.
one witch?
It's only one Faka witch. Well, technically there's 1.5. Sorry,
That
I
sounds-
shouldn't speak in riddles. Outside of Deacon speak, there's this Faka witch that basically like her whole thing is that she can like kind of like manipulate life essence and stuff, which in a fundamental way takes the form of experience points. So she can like do things at a cost of experience points.
I I haven't received experience in probably about 4 sessions, so maybe that's what happened to mine.
That's fair. No, sorry.
We
But,
do have an experience bump coming.
Okay.
But thinking that I was doing like a deacon only session tonight, I didn't bother. I will put it in.
It's fine. It's totally fine. I would have asked you before
Yeah.
if I needed.
There is XP coming for these 4 sessions of temple running.
Nice. Hell yeah. But yeah.
I like it. Let's go see the witch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can she leave? Can you leave the temple with us?
Probably not. Even if she did, I don't think it's a good idea.
So what we know from the situation right now is that the door to the forest temple has been sealed. We do know that Kiwiko cannot travel beyond the barrier into the Yuga tunnels. And we do know that Kiwiko and Trixie are bound to one another and cannot be separated by things such as traveling through the barrier to the Yuga tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a very likely possibility that they cannot be separated at all without some type of massively powerful intervention.
Mm-hmm.
But even if we did, it would probably kill at least Trixie.
Mm-hmm. So,
I have, I think, 1 teleportation slot.
Okay.
I don't know if that would.
Let's see. Honestly, I think it might be worth a shot, but the problem is I don't know where to teleport to see her.
We do not
She
know.
hasn't yeah. But I have seen her before. What if I cast sending and ask?
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Now you
Would
can
that
only
work?
ask a number of words, right? So you've got to be like,
Yeah, that's to really count. Would that work, Buck?
It is within the same plane of existence. It is somebody that you do have prior knowledge and correspondence with.
Mm,
I cannot guarantee the outcome, but I can guarantee that you have the ability to communicate with her.
sounds good. So, okay, what exactly do
could
we want to say?
guarantee the outcome if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to.
Fair.
Yeah, I like it. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm going to cast sending. I'm going to say, hello. Sorry to barge in, but we have to ask your magnanimity. We need expertise only you can provide to separate a hunger spirit possession. Yeah. How's that?
That does fit the parameters.
All right, so yeah, I'll cast sending and just see if it reaches her.
All right. The reply comes in, and it goes as follows. How dare you contact me empty-handed with such trivial matters? If you desire to speak with me, have my thrall show you the way. She doesn't sound happy.
But it was more of a proposition. It wasn't a favor. I was gonna pay you.
So, you know how to find her. But how do you find her thrall?
She was kind
Oh, it's there.
of rude. Be like, how dare you
I
do
ain't
this to me?
that big.
The word efficiency. Yeah, that's
Yeah, she unfortunately has the power to match talking to people like that. I learned that the hard way once. Wait. Sorry, Puck, I think you were saying something at one point? Something about
No,
finding the thrall?
her thrall is it is a character in play. This is not a new character that you need to find.
Is it Smith? Just like the good old days.
Is Rico just gone? Like Rico's kind of sacrificed himself, right? He's no more, as far as we know.
Rico is nothing more than transmuted energy at this point.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Oh my god, Andy Belfour, you poor fucking idiot. Aww.
Huh?
Aww.
So where are you teleporting?
I figured out who her thrall is. He's basically, so there's this guy who was he was kind of he had shitty luck. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
took an arrow to the knee and all that. So he dropped out of the military and tried. Then he took on odd jobs for the witch and now he's coping with some post hag stress disorder. I don't know.
PTSD.
Exactly. So yeah.
You gonna send a message to him too?
Yeah, I guess fuck. I literally do not have the spell slots to do that. Fuck.
We could take a nap. We could sleep overnight. My spells are mostly burned.
Okay.
So,
I will literally. Man, I guess I could, but it's gonna cost me like a 6th level slot. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do it. Hey, Andy. We need help from the witch, and as such, need your help appeasing her. What do we need to bring to you town? I don't know. This is the best I can do. I want to say in town, but whatever.
And that's the sent.
Yeah, that's what I'm sending. That's 25
Okay.
words.
Alright. So he replies back, he says, I could go for a nice bottle of whiskey. But if your goal is to get into her good graces, all you need is yourself. That doesn't sound ominous at all.
You need what? I didn't hear it.
Yourself. And that is 20.
Oh, well, like I need to go there in person?
Give me insight.
Okay. Wait, what?
Give me insight into the subtext of the meaning of what he has said.
Thanks. Dirty 20. Wow.
All right, 30-20. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to go in person. That is a given to what he's saying. but the subtext of what he's saying is that he is referring specifically to your life essence.
Sorry, we're cutting out in a little bit. What'd you say?
Oh, you will have to bring yourself, but what he's also referring to is that she desires your life essence, or life essence in general. So to put it bluntly, you know the deal. And to find out where she is, you need Andy Belfleur to escort you.
Oh. So everybody cutting out really bad. I
Yeah.
got like every third
Really?
word.
Same.
Maybe it's a Discord thing. Then I'll write it out in Cataclysm chat.
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now, okay?
Now. I think you just had to get closer to the mic or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what Andy's saying is, yes, you do need to show up in person, but he's also kind of insinuating that you know what the payment is going to be, and if you want to find her, that you're going to need him to escort you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So. All right. Let me put it this way. I would like to so we gotta ask the girl if we could take leave, because we gotta investigate some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just try and get her to say, look, we need to look into anything that can help you guys. We're gonna need some time to do it. Will you wait here for a little while, maybe a day or two, while we go try and see what we can do to get you this help?
Then she writes to you simply 3 words. Says, I will hunger.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Is that you or Kiwako?
Well, Kiwako is going to be the one who is doing the consumption, but the hunger itself is shared between them. And she writes this with a certain bit of sadness in her eyes. She does not want to be how she is, but she recognizes that 3 days is a very long time for her condition.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we just fed you a banquet fit for like, I don't know, 100 people. Plus, you also ate 97 more.
And she simply underlines repeatedly the word will. I will hunger.
Oh, okay.
I guess
Hold on, Trixie.
if
Your name is Will.
If you okay, I could come back and give you another one of these at the end of the day. I don't know if that is helpful or not.
She nods. Yes.
Okay. All right. I could probably commit to that.
Can we talk in some way to Kiwako? Like, hey, can we talk to Kiwako?
You can try. she kind of like, gestures, over to Kiwiko.
Stay at least arm's length away from that table, Stuffin.
At all times.
Hey, Kimiko, how you doing? My name's Stuffin. I know we've been kind of hanging out, but we haven't been
Not the
talking
turkey
much. Do you want a
stuffing.
sandwich? What?
I said not the turkey stuffing either. Okay, any ideas?
Not
Stuffing.
that kind of stuffing. I do have a sandwich in my pocket. Let me give you a sandwich. You want this?
What do you do with the sandwich?
Is there like a table or something I can kind of like?
Yeah, I would say there's like
I'll
a
just-
long banquet table, and he is situated on like one end of it, and is just kind of like shoveling like all food within reach. It just right into the mouth.
I'm gonna just put it on a plate and like slide it all the way down there.
It is instantaneously consumed,
Yeah.
along with the plate.
Listen. Here we go.
Nice.
You seem like a perfectly wonderful yet ravenous individual. Have you thought about your future? Like, what do you want to be doing in a week or two? Or a year?
And what languages do you speak? Oh, wait.
Oh,
We did establish that you spoke Blin because it was a under.
Undercommon.
Undercommon?
Yeah, and okay. So come back to me. Okay, so you can understand Kiwiko when Kiwiko speaks. That's right. That's what it was.
Nice.
Okay, so Kiwiko speaks Blin. And just to okay, so now that this is opened up, I can explain this. Kiwiko understands Common but cannot speak Common, and the reason that Kiwiko cannot speak Common is because Trixie does not have a tongue to speak with. But Kiwiko speaks Blin, Undercommon being the equivalent. So you can understand what Kiwiko says. And anything that Kiwiko has said has been a result of Trixie trying to say something. So like what was the one thing that Kiwiko said? It said I think it said like me, Trixie, or hunger or something. But like, yeah, okay. So yes, you can understand Kiwiko. So
Okay.
as you were saying this, she's kind of like muttering things under her breath, and she expresses to you, and Kiwiko says, "Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?" I had an answer. It just gave me. You passed over the turkey sandwich, and were you asking about the duration that the hunger would satiate?
No, but I could ask you.
Or were you asked? I completely forgot what you were asking. Did you ask?
I think I was just like, I don't know. Hey, how you doing? Are you hungry? Is there
Yeah,
for you?
Kiwiko says, I hunger.
What you said was, where do you see yourself in a day, a week, or a year?
That's
I
right.
don't know if you still want to say that.
That's right.
And she replies again with just one word. As the more she talks, it takes away from her consumption. So where do you see yourself in ultimately any extended period of time? And she simply between breaths yells, or doesn't yell, but says, consuming is her answer.
Mood.
Is there any way we could find a better place for you to consume? Like, maybe you could, I don't know, find a way to let Trixie go, and like we could find a way to get her life essence back, and we could send you to like the plane of consumption where you could just consume all the time.
Trixie's life force. No, okay, so at this point, he kind of finishes swallowing what I'm completely like giving this thing every gender under the sun, and fair because I guess it's not established at this point. So they take the swallow the last bit of food they have in their mouth and kind of wipe whatever remnants are around, like stuck to their face, and it looks at you and it says, Trixie has no life force. I have no life force. I consume to give Trixie and myself life force.
Oh, I'm just spitballing. I hope you don't find spit like something that you want to consume. Just putting it out there. My spit is a very consumable item. What wouldn't it be nice if we could find you like a different source of life source? So you didn't have to consume all the time, and you could only consume when you really wanted to.
I always want to.
I need both, buddy.
I'm cutting out again? Is it?
No, you're fine.
So Kiwiko says, I need to consume. I want to consume. I live to consume. Are you still there? Are you okay? All right. And asking again to stuff, and he says, "Do you not consume?"
I have life force. I can choose when to consume. So if I see like, oh, I don't know, like a turkey sandwich, I'm like, yum, that looks good. I'm gonna consume it, and then I do that. But then I save some of it too, and I'll like stuff it in my pockets, and I'll have it later for when. Like I don't consume everything at once because that just seems like a waste. You're just consuming to consume. You want to savor the consumption, and then sometimes you just don't want to consume, and you're like, oh, I'd rather go play some, I don't know, basketball, or read a book, or take a nice hot bath, or just chill with friends, and maybe like drink some I don't know, raspberry wine or something like that. Um, like having life force means you can choose to when to consume and not consume, at least some of the time. Doesn't that sound nice?
The look in the look in Kiwiko's eyes begin to change, and Kiwiko says, "You consume. You like wine, and wine tastes good.
Yeah,
And
but not all wine. Like some wine doesn't taste good, and then I don't want to consume it.
And you like hot bath.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You sound like soup."
I don't taste good like soup. I'm just putting it out there. Like, it doesn't sound like you savor your food. You just eat it.
Savor. I do not savor. I consume.
Deacon, you feeling a little creeped out by this conversation here?
Maybe a little. I think I get what she's saying though. Something circle of life, right? Guru taught me about that.
Something.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata. No, wait, that's
That
different.
means everybody poops, right?
Everybody poops.
I really want to just kick a hornet's nest right now and see what happens. It's like I'm so morbidly curious, but I don't know if it's a DQing thing.
What's the hornet's nest you want to kick?
I want to just hand her a golden elixir bottle of experience potion and see what happens. Which fundamentally would make it like concentrated bottle of life essence.
Oh, you try it. Why not?
Can I get an insight check on whether I'm kicking a hornet's nest by doing that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dirty 20?
30-20. All right. Now
I think I can get a very safe, like, either do not do that if that is a bad idea with a 20.
I would not say that it is a bad idea. But before I fully commit to that, what is your intention to differentiate between what is a good and bad idea?
I really don't want this to be a thing where she it's like, you've tried food, now try heroin.
So,
like, yeah, I just gave you, incredibly cheap, reproducible food, with sustainable energy. Now let's just burn fucking straight coal.
So,
do you know what I mean? Just let's just not get into the whole like industrial revolution of feeding her like more and more concentrated energy. This stuff is gasoline,
So I'm not against doing this, but I'm on roll 20 here, and I'm noticing Puck is not just moving around the tokens, but he took the token of her and made it about 20 times larger as soon as you said, let's feed her a potion of like super experience. It's like
purely coincidental, I promise. I'm just trying to get like a better backdrop to what we're doing with here. So yeah, she's not as tall as the tree. I'm just setting things that are going on.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Like, really, it's just, that's the thing, is I don't want to get her, like, so addicted to this stuff that, like, now nothing else kicks in, and I've just, like, not really shot myself in the foot so much as, like, threw a grenade directly at the ground.
Well,
alright,
we can give it to her, and then, I don't know, tell her where. There's more someplace, I don't know.
Yeah, so, okay, so you do give it to her?
Fuck it.
All right.
Like, just one, like 100 XP.
All right. So you give it to her, and she completely consumes it, and in doing so, very little effect is it does not like reduce her appetite by any means, but
okay, cool.
It is within the realm of things that she is capable and did visibly enjoy consuming.
Okay, cool. That at least answers some questions.
Yeah. So once the golden elixir is finished consuming, she simply goes back to consuming anything else within reach.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that would be like like if she just got it directly like a blood transfusion,
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's like good shit. You're gonna mainline that.
It's literally the difference between like I'm giving you a blood transfusion and I'm giving you heroin.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to make sure which one was which before I did that.
I'll give you a blood transfusion with heroin tainted blood. But no, as far as you can tell.
But wait, there's more, and it has Hep C. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, what have we done to this poor creature? But no, there does not, and I will say, like at this point, there have been a number of things, both material and immaterial, that you have seen Kiwiko consume or understand in hindsight that she was consuming. And among all the things that you've witnessed thus far, there really seems to be no differentiating factor from her. Simply consumption is consumption.
Good to know. Damn. Well, I guess at least if nothing, it means she could eat the magic, which means like the tiny little cries of like no for the little Dekus, or at least not going to waste.
Yes. And I will say also,
I salute you.
Because I do kind of like seeing it coming this way from like, my GM brain. If theoretically you were to have her tag along and you were to feed her spell slots as a point of consumption, I would say that there is ultimately absolutely no difference from her between like a first or 9th level spell slot. Like just the simple act of consumption is enough for her.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder how I do that.
I'm not getting into that. I'm simply
trying that's fair.
I'm going to get ahead of myself as a GM.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, all right, that works. Well, Stefan, what do you think? Do you think the witch is worth a shot, or do you think we should like try to like anything else while we're here, or like what's going through your mind right now? I don't want to like force an option upon you, just because I get going home with it.
Well, she just wants to consume. We gotta find a way to get their life essence back. Maybe appease their hunger long enough that I can try to dispel the magic. That's like binding the two of them together or something.
Well, unfortunately, everything they've told us and everything we've like uncovered does indicate that the moment they're separated, unless we find something a little more powerful than us and even more powerful than them, they're both gonna die at that point. Like there is no like from what they've like, there is no one or the other. Like they are like literally like, especially with like Kiwiko literally acting as her like stomach and metabolism. Like the second we pull that out, it's like ripping out organs, I would imagine.
Well, here, let me play devil's advocate here. Maybe we do that, and then she goes to the afterlife where she's supposed to be, and Kiwiko goes back to wherever Kiwiko came, which is the way it's supposed to be. I mean, it feels sad for her, but like,
I gotcha.
She led a difficult life and she died. Is it natural to kind of keep trying to like find her way back for her?
That's true. To be honest, I was just concerned because well, actually, shit. Puck, can I send you a DM real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know that that's what Rico wanted. I don't think that's what Rico wanted. Rico turned into energy. He's kind of an asshole for abandoning.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way a little bit, actually. I understand what he was doing, but I kind of wish he didn't do that. I don't know if you want me to roll or what, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't know how to work this in. Okay, do you mind if I just say it then?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the reason, okay, out of game, just to be completely honest with you, the reason that I want to do this way is because, if we just kill Kiwiko, Saria's heart is her phylactery.
Yes.
So, which is Kiwiko's phylactery, which means if we kill Kiwiko, we have like 1d4 or 10 or whatever days before she basically comes back and eats Saria's heart and like repossesses and kills her. So, one of the reasons I wanted to do this was to kind of like make some peace and just like get this girl free. Of like basically, since we've also established that the only thing that can break a phylactery is kind of like either a consumption of from a more powerful being, or else a like willing dissolvement of their own phylactery. Um, like that's kind of like the gist of it, so to speak. Like I was hoping she would willingly part with the phylactery in exchange for not having to, I'm going to say metaphorically, eat for a living. At least that was my grand plan. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but it's quickly becoming like I said, a dominoes. And I don't know what to, again, I don't know if it's like appealing to you or not. To try and like help them out further.
Domino's Pizza appealing to me? Of course it is.
Fair.
So if I may lay this out in a little bit more like mental detail,
Sure.
So it is possible to willfully give up a phylactery. It is possible to destroy a phylactery by means of destroying it with something stronger than the phylactery itself. The only known item which we currently have in this campaign is a sword that is in possession of Leto. And part of the reason that I'm keeping that in his possession, like, because, when parties shift like this, is because he is notably very protective and very against using it. So I do not think that this is something he would very readily, willfully part with. And be like,
There's
I'm
no
going
way
away,
he
go
is letting us
do
touch
it what
that.
you want.
No fucking way is he letting us touch that.
Yeah, so that sword is still within the possession of Leto. So
like, with that in mind, this is also the only chance that we have to like save Saria's heart from being destroyed.
Yes.
And Fate Render would also have to destroy it in the process, so it wouldn't exactly work that way. But still, the principle is there.
And
like,
that would, yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is, if we don't get her to relinquish the phylactery, she will just come back in a couple days, and we'll be fucked out of luck. Like we gotta get her to give up the ghost. And the only way we could really do that is via diplomacy. And I'd like it to, and this is just Deacon speaking, I'm not saying it has to be this way, but he was hoping to do it via like getting them a better life rather than trying to make them like acquiesce to the afterlife. If you think we should try the afterlife route, maybe we could talk to him about it. But yeah, I'm just explaining that's like how we got here. Sorry, I guess I should have been more upfront with it in the first place, but I was kind of like not sure. Like, I mean, full disclosure, I just wasn't sure like how much Deacon would totally know. But like, that's kind of like the circumstances I've been operating on. If that helps any.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So there are things that we are actively learning about this situation. So upon like the formation of the plan, it was based upon a number of aspects that may or may not be conflicting with the situation as we know it to now be evolving. But the ability to relinquish a phylactery, and in essence, in doing so, Kiwako would succumb to a condition of mortality, which from her mindset would put a time at which consumption would come to an end. However, Trixie would be far more okay with that than Kiwako.
But like, who controls the heart?
Right now, the heart is inside of Saria. Neither of them have physical possession of the heart. It is simply it is a phylactery for Kiwako.
Yeah, but I guess you said that Kiwako could relinquish it in some way, right?
Yeah,
So
like
that basically
relinquish her
means
connection to it.
make it not her phylactery anymore.
Yeah.
And and she would want to, which makes sense. But I guess the thing that confused me was like Trixie, Trixie would be okay with that, but Trixie doesn't really have any control over whether the heart is relinquished or not or anything, right?
Correct.
Fine.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess, sorry, man. I know this is like a hell of an issue.
I think you started out
She
with a real
doesn't
good
get
plan. I think
the
that
witch.
the
The
fuck
witch.
was pretty solid.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I think that
She
might be
doesn't.
just, yeah, I think that'll be what we gotta do, my man, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I mean, like one way or the other, I don't think you're going to find a solution inside this temple. I think what is left in the there are things left in this temple, but I think that the answers pertaining to Kiwiko have pretty much been exhausted for the temple.
I think you're right. Okay. So look, I'm gonna tell her, look, at the end of every night, every other night, if I get in a lot of trouble, I will teleport back in, and I will bring up another one of these portals for you, for Kiwiko to, do her thing. Now, just please understand, like, I need you to cooperate with me. What we're going to be doing is by no means easy. I know it's not easy on you either, but we are really going to have to try to make this happen. And we want to, and we will. We need you to just bear with us on this. And that means Kiwiko too. Can you, try to keep her in line?
It's kind of like Trixie kind of looks around to the barrenness of the temple, and
it'll refill itself when I cast it next time. Don't worry.
Well, more so like kind of insinuating like what other choice does she have? Like they're really there is no exit, even though Rico has removed the barrier of the room that they were kept in. He has sealed the entrance to the temple, so he has essentially given her free range of the temple, but not the ability to leave.
Cool. Okay. Fair enough. Riku nods. He says, all right. Yeah, so we're gonna bounce for now, and I will see you hopefully soon. Stay safe, Trixie. There's one last thing, however.
Mm-hmm.
We need to pick a meeting room, and I need something from that room so that I can teleport directly back to you whenever necessary.
And once again, she walks over to Kiwiko and kind of reaches inside her body and pulls out something that she has cupped in her hand. She walks over to you and places it in your hand.
Okay. I look down.
It looks reminiscent. It is old. is
Mhm.
made of metal that seems to be kind of rusted and tarnished. But there is a symbol in the center of it. It's like a round, circular type crest,
Mhm.
and the crest is Hylian.
Huh.
And she just hands it to you.
Okay. Thanks. Do you know where you got this?
She nods her head, yes.
I understand. Okay. Thanks. And this will take us back here?
She nods her head, yes.
Okay. I gently pat her on the shoulder. I say, thank you, Trixie. Thank you for believing in us enough to give us a shot. We're gonna do our best.
She nods her head.
Okay. All right. Stuffing, you want to get out of here?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Let me see. One sec. All right. Can I ask what 7th level spells you have prepared?
You can ask.
Sorry. Sorry, I'll get around it. I was just gonna ask if you would mind casting and teleport. I was gonna save
Yeah,
mine for like a regenerate just in case, if that's
I
okay.
can do one teleport.
Awesome, thanks. I just need us to head to Hyrule Castletown.
Okay.
I'll hold out the piece of cobblestone that I usually use to teleport to Hyrule Castletown Square.
All right. So, teleporting to Hyrule Castletown Square.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, I think I need to fix this a little bit. I like when we haven't been here for a while, and I just kind of I'll be like, oh, this is the last time we were here. It's like a nice feeling. Let
I
me
need to roll.
Not with an associated item.
All right, let me scoot that. And scoot. And there we go. Okay, so we are going to temporarily till we figure out the gully situation. So we have Stuffin and Deacon in the center of Hyrule Castletown. What would you like to do from here? It is getting to I would say a bit to your surprise, because you've been in that temple for a minute. It does appear to be getting later in the day. Not necessarily to the point where oh, shit, we got to do something about this, but the sun has definitely crested over the midday. You can see kind of the oranges and reds that are starting to creep up on the horizon as the sun begins to set. But you have a fair amount of time to get done what you need to do. You just recognize it's a little bit later in the day than you may have anticipated.
Sounds good. I'm gonna say let's head to the bar and start looking for Andy.
All right, you head to the bar at I think it's called the Hyrule. At the inn, and yeah, you find You find Andy.
Hyrulean. That's funny. I didn't even think about that.
You know what? Let me change what's the map? I'm gonna scoot over at the map. And I like that. I like that. I'm gonna change that name. I'm gonna change that right now.
Thanks.
Love it. Oh, it is simply called the Inn on the map, and the Hyrule Inn. Did I spell that right? Hyrule Inn. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys.
Hell yeah. Oh, I don't see it.
Ah! Do I need to make it visible?
I see a spinning fountain.
Hold on, let me... Is it... Oh, I need to hit the C button. I think that might work. There it is.
Yay! That's awesome. I love it.
For those on Twitch, because I cannot,
Love
because
it.
my typing does not, but that right there says the Hyrule Inn. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
That's for us. But, okay.
It is.
So you head
This
over.
fountain is like bigger than any of the buildings.
What's that?
That fountain is like considerably bigger than the buildings.
Well, yeah, it's the center of town.
A lake.
It's got to be like, it's something for the people. They gotta, have something that they can cling on to, so that they don't worry about all the other bad stuff that's happening. They're like, you know what, there might be horrible things happening in the field, but at least we have a giant ass fountain, bigger than the inn itself.
Okay.
And it's all pee.
It's all pee. So okay. You head to the Hyrulean, and you find Andy Belfleur sitting in the corner by himself, Lord of the Rings Strider style, kind of keeping to himself. And what would you like to do?
How much is the bottle of Fishki?
Let's see. Let's say 4 rupees a shot. Let's say a good 10 shots to the bottle. Let's with a little markup. Let's say an even 50.
Okay. I'll buy a bottle of Fishki for old Andy Belfleur.
All right, bottle service.
Wait, does he actually drink the Fishki, or is this like, I'll have a hot chocolate? Like which end of the paradigm is Andy Belfleur? I can't remember.
I'll have milk in a dirty glass.
Whoa.
No, like I mean, when you were communicating with him, he seemed like he was looking forward to that Fishki.
That's right. All right, sorry. I had to like second guess that just because I remember Fishki, you fucking Fishki.
Yeah.
And tasting like Fishki.
It is a love-hate relationship, but he's seen some things, and sometimes you need that
Fair.
love-hate to even it out.
I suddenly understand, actually. Like why I occasionally buy I occasionally buy a fucking wild turkey.
Oh,
I need to punish myself.
Oh, that is punishment. Oh, go to Costco's and get the Kirkland brand.
I wish we had a Costco's, bro. Shit, dog.
Me too.
I
I have to go out of state to get Kirkland whiskey.
Damn.
Yeah. You know what though? I'll take the compromise.
Fair, honestly.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, you walk into the bar. The bar is kind of like it's a looks like it's starting to pick up for the night. Um,
Mhm.
there's a small band playing in the corner, with their instrument cases open for tips. A good bit of the tables are um, filled up with various people, some of which look like they might be getting off of work. You got a couple people at the bar that, look like they're regulars. If not at this bar, then definitely a bar somewhere. And then,
Um,
uh
hey, can I pause you for a second?
yeah,
Um, so, sorry, I just need to do some mod thing. The new Discord member we got is like some kind of bot or something. Like, they're
Oh,
spamming
I figured.
everybody in the channel.
uh,
I figured. I mean, it's an account that's been open for 2 months or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't want to stop the game for this, but like, you might want to handle that because they're like spamming everybody.
the new person that joined.
Fuzzy just told me that they like sent him a bunch of DMs and shit. So
All right, that's the new person that joined.
yeah, one with the Nezuko avatar.
All right.
That means nothing to you. The one with the little girl avatar.
All right. I will be booting them. Thank you for letting me know. Bam.
Shout out Fuzzy.
Appreciate it. And all right, they are removed and banned. Thank you. I mean, if you think about it, that's Leto's fault for not being here. No, you did not disrupt. I want to make sure that everyone is good and well protected and not dealing with bullshit. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So, all right. So you find yourselves in the bar. You're able to locate Andy Belfler, and there are a number of other things and activities going on at the bar. What would you like to do?
Yeah. Here, let me mark off the rupees. Yeah, I will sidle on up to Andy and yeah, I will personally hand deliver him the bottle, and then I'll give him a tiny little bottle with another 100 XP elixir potion to chase it with.
All right. So as you come over with the bottle, he kind of looks up from his table. You can what's that game called where like you put your hand out on the table and you like stab the table with a knife, try to not hit your fingers.
Stupid.
Yeah. There was a name for it, but I forget what it was. So as you you come to the table, you can see that.
Honestly, I always just knew it as the knife game.
Okay, yeah.
I was thinking paid.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll call it the knife game. So you can see as you approach, like, Andy Belfer has one hand on the table, and there are a number of puncture wounds, or puncture marks on the table, with maybe a few tiny cuts to his hand that may or may not be from the game, but from the notches that's into the table, it looks like he's been playing it for a minute. And as you approach,
it has it has a lot of names. Sometimes called the knife game, or pin finger, or nerve, or bishop, or hand roulette, or chicken, or I think my favorite one is 5-finger fillet.
That's the one I'm familiar with. Okay, 5-finger fillet.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yes. So Eddie Belcher looks up at you and he goes, with the bottle in hand, and he goes, "Well, for what I'm glad I wasn't hearing voices. And 2, I thought you sounded familiar. And 3, why are you still holding that bottle?"
That's fair. I slide it over to him.
So he takes it.
And then I will take a seat next to him.
And the first thing he does is he pours like a little bit over the tiny wounds on his hand. He's like, "Oh, that's a good sting." All right. So he like pours out a couple of glasses. If you didn't bring any, I'll say he just grabs some from an adjacent table.
That works.
Yeah, and he pours a couple of light cups and a really heavy one. Passes you guys over the light ones. He's like, "So, you sure about this?"
Absolutely. 100% sure. Kind of sips the drink is like,
Ugh.
we're sure. Yeah.
I
What
inhaled
are we
a
sure
very
about,
small
though?
piece of ice. Whoops. That's what I get. Yeah,
What are we sure? What are we doing here?
So we're looking for the witch. This guy is the only guy who can lead us to the witch. And he's asking if we're sure we want to do this. So I'm kind of getting cold feet, but I feel like it is too late to have cold feet.
You have found yourselves in the presence of Andy Belfleur, the thrall of the Faka Witch.
I guess so, Andy. I've stuff in. You okay? You ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay.
It's like, all
Alright.
right. And he breaks out a map of Hyrule. Because we haven't seen this in a minute. Let's see, where's that? We haven't done it so long that I completely forgot about updating the map. So we will use the non-updated map for the time being, as I continue to forget to upgrade the map. So it kind of like stretches out this map. And he's like, all right. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be leaving from here. And we're going to have to travel a little bit funny. Because we're going to have to go along here. As he like runs his finger across the map. And he goes, and then we got to go to about here. So ultimately, I think we got about a 6-hour trip ahead of us. Because I don't want to be going too far into Hyrule Field.
Okay.
So it's like, y'all, I think it might be a good idea to start out in the morning for this.
That's a good call.
Not
Yeah,
for
that
any
makes
of you
sense.
guys.
Although we could.
She's just not really pleasant at night. We need to let her get her beauty
We
rest.
could. We
Uh-huh.
could go to Lon Lon Ranch and just camp there tonight, and then see those kind of weird shapes in the skies taking the Lon Lons. It's a fun thing to do at night,
I mean, I could forego a night's rest in a bed. It might save me a few rupees. Sleeping a little bit on some hay, and it would probably cut off maybe a good 2-3 hours off the trip, which would be good. How do you propose we get there?
with our own 2 wings. Not.
Huh. I don't know if I have anything from Lon Lon Ranch, actually. I forgot to take stuff for the place.
Let me
It
zoom.
just seems like it's on the way. We could get like a start, but I don't know. Whatever. We could just sleep here tonight too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be 5 hours of travel to get to Lon Lon Ranch from here by foot. And then looking at the entrance, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. And it might not save that much travel time, actually. Yeah, because we're going to go... We'd be traveling to here. Oh, wait, can I get the... There it is. This is where we'd be traveling to. From here, which is a good bit. And so basically, instead of going here to here, we'd be going here to here.
Oh.
And that would also put you guys in the middle of Hyrule Field.
Oh, right, where they're like the ambush things, right? That's what we're trying to avoid. The golden portals.
I mean, I would say that you feel fairly confident that the portals are still no longer an issue yet. But
Okay.
there are still other things in Hyrule Field, especially traveling at night.
True. That's true. That's true. Traveling at night is kind of a risky business. Forgot about that.
So you could absolutely travel to Lon Lon Ranch. It might shave a little bit off your travel time by adding more to your travel time the night before. Or you could.
Let's go tomorrow. Let's head out tomorrow.
You could rent out a inn at the Hyrulean, or you could, even though Lito is not with you, I see no reason that he would not. Like that, you guys do have an open invitation to spend the night at Cito's as well, so that would be without cost or incident.
We could bunk up at my jewelry shop too if you want.
That's true too.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun. Oh yeah, I'll help you clean up some stuff.
That sounds like a great plan.
I'll put Shrimkin on a stick, and she'll be a giant feather duster.
How are you going to attach the stick?
Shrimkin just looks at him and just glares. You will not be getting exactly like. You will not be getting near me with that stick, Deku.
What exactly is Chimkin here? Is Chimkin like you're familiar?
Oh, right. I guess I never explained that. So Chimkin is so a long time ago we first saw Cuckoos in Kakariko Village, and I don't know. I always thought the Cuckoos were really cute. So we interacted with them for a while, and Deacon got one as a pet. And anyway, basically, since I'm a bard, I get the magical secrets. So once we hit 10th level, I took Find Greater Steed. And I asked Puck, hey, so most of these monsters don't exist in Legend of Zelda, but I really want a cool flying mount, because at the time there's only 3 of us, so there was room for me to have a mount. So I asked if I could take the Griffin and just reflavor it as a gigantic Kuko. So now she's
that's
like
right. Okay.
Yeah, she's like just a large-sized Kuko Celestial from Find Greater Steed. So she's got all the.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love her so much. But yes, she has been the party's loyal steed for many a year.
Yes.
She would happily carry you anywhere if you didn't already have wings like her.
Well, I want my own Kuko, but I don't want a full-size one. I want a pocket-sized one.
I love it. Hell yeah.
I want my alarm Kuko is what I want.
That sounds
that wakes me up. I can set it for any time, day or night.
That sounds awesome.
Oh man.
Jovian just has a baby one day. There's just an egg, and then there's just a celestial cuckoo appears.
Hmm.
So
You get your own tiny little baby cuckoo.
Stefan, oh, it's called Stefan's Jewelry. Okay. I'm gonna mark it so it's a visible name. There we go. Okay. I was just making some quick adjustments to the town. Okay.
Nice.
So you make your way over to Stefan's Jewelry. And at this point, like, you guys have done like a fair amount of cleaning. So I would say like kind of the overarching stuff, like the sweeping and the window washing, and even the removing of kind of like the large, trashy, undesirable objects have at this point been removed. One of my questions is, what about the safe? The safe that you found the deadly sin die in.
It was emptied, right? Is there?
Yeah, once it was opened, it was emptied.
Were there traces of like magic on it? If detect magic, did that reveal? Would that reveal?
No, the only things that were in there were the deadly sin die, which were not magical objects. The safe itself is not magical, and the I was saying, Reginald, or the spirited embodiment of Reginald escaped from the safe. So, anything that, I mean, I guess, since we're dealing with like spiritual energy, that might have been considered magic, but anything that was in there has since dissipated, and it is now just. Well, you know what? I would say if you take time to inspect the safe, I would say that you find some runes kind of carved into the safe. And given the events of what you witnessed when you opened it, I would say that you could make a safe assumption off the bat that the runes are meant to contain.
I lost you.
Oh,
you said the runes are meant to contain.
Yeah, just the runes, without like delving any further into it, were there for the purpose of containing the spirit of Reginald.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason I wouldn't use the safe more.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, hey, I'd like to inspect the runes and see if they match any of the rune like coverings we got from the water temple where the Great Fairy would have been.
Yeah.
All right, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Here, I'll help you too.
Thanks. That's advantage?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
5 minutes?
Thank you.
Sorry, you're right. No. Can you give me 5?
Right.
Yep. I gotta go in 5 minutes, I think.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, I was gonna pop it around. I was gonna start to wind down around 9:30 anyway. Okay, so real quick, out of 17, what we have is they are not the same runes, but they are. They do appear to be derivative of each other.
Okay.
Where they are both meant to, like, they both originate from a ancient magical race. Is there anything that I could further illuminate in terms of like abilities or anything like that?
I guess I'm just curious if there's any way they can be reactivated. Like, obviously with 17, I don't know what they are, but maybe if that's possible at all.
They are not deactivated.
Oh shit, okay. So they're like still holding soul energy if we stuff somebody's like soul jar in here?
Absolutely.
What the fuck? Cool.
They still have the ability to contain magical energies. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Cool.
Opening the
That's
safe did not
awesome.
break or destroy the seal. Well, I mean, opening it left like an opening to escape from, but it did not in any way dismantle or deteriorate the seal. So yes, you have a safe that has ancient markings on it that can seal magic within it when it is closed.
Does that include the Triforce? Like it did way back when?
It is big enough to hold the Triforce.
What you thinking, Deacon?
Well, I was just thinking that, like, it might be a really good place to hold, like, some of the more excruciatingly powerful items we come across when we're not using them. Like, for example, these, the Triforce pieces we've uncovered, but, when we first uncovered, this safe a long time ago, when we first met Reginald, in, my initial conceptualization, like my initial timeline. He was keeping a piece of the Triforce of Wisdom in here. And it was very, it seemed to be working. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
But yeah.
And this is that safe.
Yeah. Wow.
So as the day grows late. There we go. Sorry, a little trip of the tongue there.
All good.
You have a little bit of time before you want to turn in. As I said, you had mentioned that you had wanted to clean up the jewelry shop a little bit more. If you want to do that, that is still an absolute possibility. I would say that if that is your action to commit to, you will have put enough work into the jewelry shop that now the front of the house is cleaned and functional. You have fixed the shelving units. You have put the safe in a safe place that it is not in front of prying eyes. The floors are clean, the windows are clean, and it's ready to be stocked. The back of the room, or the rooms in the back of the house have been cleaned to the point that they are okay to be usable. You have designated a storage area for backstock. It is not so unkempt that you would not be able to spend the night here on like cots or bedrolls or anything like that. But in order for it to be functional, you would need to put maybe a few more hours into that. But you could definitely, at this point, start stocking and preparing the jewelry shop for opening.
Okay, so that sounds good. Can I also, in some way, put out word to someone, maybe like the barkeep that we know, or that I'm trying to hire someone to finish the cleaning and start setting up the shop for sales?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Shoot me, because it's just when you have a moment, shoot me through my DM just like 3 bullet points of just the final work that you need done and what the total rate of compensation would be upon completion.
Okay.
And then what we can have them do is we can put out a job inquiry through the Adventurers Guild, and somebody will reply.
Okay.
It is not
Sounds
the most
good.
exciting adventure for someone to go on, but the Adventures Guild does not discriminate between small and large adventures.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So turning down for the night. Just make sure again we are spending the night in the jewelry shop.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So you start to lay out your bedding. You start to, you know, find a nice, clean, cozy corner to turn in for the night. And yeah, with that, I honestly wish that I had a more, especially for this episode, I wish I had a more intense note to end this session on. But I will simply say, that you have a restful night, and you know what? I will say, as the final thing, that you do hear a knock at the window, and it would appear that somebody is just nearby. Yeah, and that is the note that we will leave it on. So there is a figure.
Wait, what?
There is
that's out.
a figure.
Knock at the window and somebody is.
Yeah, not like a knock, but like more of like a. Yeah. I you know what? Right now we'll just keep it listed as like a general knock.
Okay.
You know, or like a knocking sound, not necessarily somebody trying to get in, not necessarily somebody trying to get your attention, but that is where we'll pick up next week with elaborating with the sound of the knocking against the window, what that is. So, all right, let's see. So, always room for Chimkin. That's right, Fuzzy. All right, so I want to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight. Just as a reminder, next week we are going to try to do our second session of the Legend of Zelda Elder Scrolls 2 Isekai, of taking Link and once again further building him up inside the world of Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. We'll try it for a couple more sessions. We'll see how it is. If it is not as entertaining, I will just play it by myself, and we will go back to our former format. And I will also try to improve upon my multitasking so that when we are playing Daggerfall next week, that we're able to talk about other stuff. So,
Nice.
But if you missed last week's session, it was a lot of fun. Check it out. Yeah. But that being said, I want to thank Stuffin. I want to thank Deacon. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I will try to get this session up in less than 2 weeks. And yeah. With that, I want to thank you. And I hope you have a happy, safe, warm, dry, wonderful week. And we will see you next time. So until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.